Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Tom, and I'm bringing you some model. Actually, I have no idea what gameplay I'm bringing you. I'm actually looking at an empty screen right now, with absolutely nothing on it, and it's 1:25 in the morning right now, and I'm not tired at all. And I've been finding a lot of times recently that I've just been up late at night doing absolutely nothing, with nothing to do except think about stuff. And I was thinking about stuff, which is kind of what I just said. And there's kind of one thing I wanted to share with you guys. Something I wanted to talk about is that I've been looking at a few videos recently, and I've just been generally thinking about life and what I'm going to do and things like that, and I was just realizing that there's one big question that came to my mind is, where is the originality in the world? Why is, not necessarily why is no one being original anymore, but there's a massive lack of originality, I think. And okay, I'm going to kind of go through what I'm talking about here. I'm going to use the example of YouTube, alright? So back in the day, basically when YouTube started out, I wasn't really around. I mean, I did watch Machinima and like Modern Warfare 2 COD 4 days, but there were only 3, 4, 5, 6 commentators that I really knew about, which were like Tabe, XCal, Blame Truth, etc, etc, and that's all I really watched because there was nothing else to watch. And I was there when I saw, hundreds of new channels springing up every single week, every single year, just new channels, like tons of new videos piling in. And I realized that there was so much of people, like 90% of the community, or 90% of YouTube commentators anyway, literally just lifted ideas straight from other channels and just used them on their own channel. And okay, hands down, I have done that too in the past, and I've been trying to cut down on it. And if I do it, I'm doing it for a good reason. Like for example, that Sandy Ravage video that I uploaded, that thing with the Spice 12 ground war, I did that just for a lot of fun, because and also because Sandy Ravage wasn't around, so I was just like, hey, why not? It was a lot of fun, a lot of people enjoyed it, so hey, I will just completely steal his idea and entertain people with it. But what I've been finding is that here's the one thing that really does frustrate me, and it's going to be a very, I don't know, it's kind of a controversial thing to say, but I've also been watching a lot of people like to call them tips and tricks videos, and where people advertise a certain class setup or a certain gun. And what's been really frustrating me is that I've been seeing a lot of videos where there's this one guy who everyone pretty much hails as the king of Call of Duty, but in reality what he's doing is he's using the best guns in the game. He's using like subscribers to put down ballistic vests for him, UAVs for him, things like that, and he's racking up like double Moabs, triple Moabs, and I'm not going to name any names because that'd be extremely rude, but there are a lot of people that are on my list, well, not actually that many, but just a few in specifically, and they've also been like, giving away class setups, like best classes to use, and new updates, new patches, and how to get. I think there was one update about SitRep Pro, right, where SitRep Pro cancelled out Dead Silence, and I realized that everyone started using SitRep Pro as soon as that got announced, or as soon as I found out about that. And I looked it up on YouTube, and bam, there was this video with 500,000 views and explaining exactly how to get SitRep Pro very, very fast. Now, normally I would not have a problem with that, but it's something that I've always been a guy who's enjoyed using SitRep Pro because not many people knew what it did. But now that the entire community knows what it does, everyone just goes out and uses it. And I always said to myself, well, why can't people go out and figure it out themselves? That's what I did usually. Like Modern Warfare 2, I didn't really watch too many videos until it was like late Modern Warfare 2 days. I was kind of trying to figure stuff out myself because I didn't know about it. I didn't know about YouTube or anything like that. I never really watched YouTube that much, and it was all just me and my noob self trying to do well. I never did well for a long, long time, and in the end, really, guys, what I figured out is that there was no real need to watch YouTube. I just figured it out myself. I found the classes I enjoyed, and I got better and better at it. But it's also the kind of thing, this you can also relate to real life, right? So, I mean, you have like plenty of people in very high positions of power who the entire country just listens to, basically. So you might have the President of the United States, right, who goes out and makes a speech about, let's take the instance that when, what's his name, was confirmed dead, so to say, when Osama bin Laden was, I remember Obama came out and made a speech about it, put it on YouTube, that Osama bin Laden had been killed, and justice has been served, and God bless America, and things like that, alright? And guys, I've got nothing against Barack Obama, I've got nothing against any countries or anything like that. And this is just completely neutral commentary, but I'm trying to express my opinions here. But I just realized that I was reading the comments to those videos, and everyone was just like, yeah, God bless America, our country is the greatest. And I mean, there were even some pretty crazy comments, you know, like, yeah, you should all look up to America, America's the best country in the world. And guys, come on now, that's a little bit, that's taking a little bit too far. And it's basically because you've got people that are just promoting ideas, promoting propaganda, promoting stuff that most likely maybe 1, maybe 2% of what they're saying is actually true. And because they're leaders, because they're in such high positions of power, the whole country just listens to them. And I don't want to go into any specific example because that would be kind of rude, it'd be kind of controversial. I don't want to get too controversial, guys, but the final thing I want to talk about, just leading on to what I said, is kind of how you think about this in terms of your life. Because I don't want to grow up being a guy who just, you know, goes out there, becomes a doctor because everyone says he makes a lot of money out of it. No, I don't want to do that. It's not about the money for me. I'm the good guy. No, I'm just kidding. Well, actually, money is kind of nice. I would like a lot of money, but that's a totally different topic for a different day. That's a totally different kind of idea as well. Money. That's a really big topic, actually. I guess I could make another commentary on that, but I kind of just felt like, you know, it's 1:30 a.m. and I just felt like doing a deep talk commentary. Anyway, getting on to what I was talking about, what I'm going to talk about is, guys, don't, you know, go out there and expect things to click just because someone else says it. And many a time I've found that I've fallen into the trap of doing things by myself and just being, you know, so sure that I was right about everything. And in a way, that was a good and a bad thing. Alright, so the bad thing about that was that I just disregarded other people. I considered them bad people because of, well, that's a lot of things. I've talked about this before, actually, in one of my previous commentaries, because, like, you know, back in school, like back in early days of school, I didn't really enjoy myself that much. If you want, I can link that video down below. It was an RPD free-for-all in favelas, so if you want to go check that out, it's back in my earlier videos. That's also quite a nice topic, a nice commentary that was. Anyway, so back onto what I was talking about. God, it is kind of ridiculously easy to get sidetracked, I gotta say. But yeah, so kind of that was a bad thing, really, that I was just disregarding other people and, you know, generally being really immature. And being immature is not a good thing, I've got to say, and it's all part of, you know, whoever you are, but just try to stray away from being too immature about things. And if you're gonna talk about something, you know, out loud, then make sure either do it quietly or kind of make it very limited. Don't go into detail, otherwise people will start raging at you. You're gonna get a lot of hate. That's where a lot of trolling on YouTube comes from as well, is people kind of getting too open. And I'm trying to stay, you know, I'm trying to get a balance between, like, you know, telling you guys what I want to say and not going too crazy, you know. But a good thing about that is that when I'm older now, and I'm 17, almost 18 now, and it's gotten to the point where I've been able to realize, you know, how far can I actually go. And I've been reading a bit lately, not too much because reading is difficult, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like reading in-depth books, and I don't like reading newspapers or articles or anything like it. It's annoying and it's boring. But when I do, I make sure it's, you know, something that I'm interested in. But I'm just trying to, like, get myself to be involved in things that I want to do, and it's not because someone else has told me to do them, but it's because I want to do it, and because I think that I can actually make an impact on real life issues, because I enjoy it, and because I don't like the word passionate, but I'm going to say it because I'm passionate about it. And passionate is a really annoying word, it's a really deep word, but whatever. So guys, don't go out there thinking that you got to do exactly what you're told to do. Don't go out there thinking that everyone who's in high positions of power is right, because they're probably not. Remember, the people who are like presidents of the United States, they're out there to get votes, they're out there to stay in power, and they're out there so that you will vote for them, pretty much. And a lot of what they say, it won't actually happen. So that's also a very controversial thing to say, but it is very, very true, guys, so just take it from me. And I haven't read enough about that to talk about it anymore, so I think I'm going to cut this commentary short, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I have no idea what gameplay was over this, but I think it's going to be a PM-9 TDM or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to have to choose a gameplay which fits, or two gameplays even that fits over the time that's in this video. But hope you guys enjoyed the commentary, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.